Hey everyone, Jared Bashir's here from Skeeterbuggins Productions, and welcome to our new live show that I'm going to try and do weekly, called Take a Break with Skeeterbuggins. And the idea behind this show is to connect with all of you out there, and as well as show what we do, what we like here. There is going to be in the future some behind the scenes look at what's going on with our business. Like we have a nice thing planned next week where next Wednesday we have our first during the pandemic gig, I guess, since the stay-at-home order here in Washington State was issued. And we are going to be doing the Flywheel conference for Guada here locally in Wenatchee. And I'm going to take some behind the scenes footage of that and share that with you and talk to you about the production process that goes into that and how that all works. So, but for our preview episode today, or premiere, I should say premiere episode, we are going to talk about NAB. NAB is a huge convention if you're in the production broadcast world. It happens every April in Las Vegas at the Convention Center. And not only do you go to a lot of sessions where you learn new innovations and new things that's going on in the industry, but there's also massive exhibit halls. I went to it 2 years ago. 2 years ago? Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago. It took me, and I rushed through it because I was only there for a day. It took me 6.5 hours to go through 3 giant halls. And I didn't get to spend the amount of time that I wanted to. So this year, and today is the first day of it, they came up with a virtual event called NAB Express. And I took part in a couple sessions earlier today. And tonight, what I want to do, I thought this would be a unique treat for you so you can understand maybe some of the products I like, and how the vendors I like, and how I think about some of the stuff I do and the product choices I do. I'm going to give you a tour of what I'm looking for. And I have not looked at these. I have no idea what these vendors and exhibitors are doing out there, and even what their products are. So you're going to be experiencing with me for the first time seeing these products. And I'm going to give you my gut reaction. That's why I called it open the box. I think that's a term from people who do pop-up stores. And we're going to open the box together, and we're going to have some fun with this. So give me a second here. And there we go. We are in NAB, and here's the NAB Express page. As you can see, it's already created for me because I went through and I did a lot of pre-work in preparation for this for myself. And it was really quite a setup where you can get your own session scheduled that you want to check out. You can get, you can also plan out what vendors you want to see. So like today, in terms of sessions, and what's cool about this, it's completely virtual. It's a complete virtual event. So I could actually watch these at my own time. It wasn't at the scheduled time. And so I will say this, I'll be frank. What was kind of a drag about it because you could see them on demand and they were pre-recorded, you didn't get that interaction that you would normally get at a session at NAB, where you can maybe have a Q&A with the presenters and like that. I mean, the information was great, but it was lacking that key interaction. If you had questions, you have to reach out to them through their social media like that, which I could see that could be, that's good for the presenters and like that, but it's not, if you have a question right then and there, it loses that experience a little bit in how they did this. Again, I'm very thankful it's here, but so here's the list of vendors I wanted to check out. And before I go to them, I'll talk about why I chose them. There was probably well over 1,000 vendors at least I could choose. I chose 28 because I'm looking for specific things and things that I do. So I'll just introduce each one of them to you. Adobe. I am a Creative Cloud user. I use Adobe in pretty much everything I do. Whatever project it is, Adobe's being used in it some way, somehow. So that's why I picked them. It's not necessarily that they do anything too innovative, but it's always good to check out if they're coming out with a new program. A lot of times what Adobe will do is they will cannibalize programs into one to make it better, or they will come up with a new workflow. So that's why I put them on the list to see what they're doing. This is Aja. They're makers, they make all sorts of products. Converters, streaming devices, interfaces for post-production, record decks. They are a very interesting company, and I add them because I personally don't actually own any Aja products, believe it or not, I don't. I've used them when I've worked for others, but I personally don't own them, but I always keep an eye on them because they do have some interesting stuff that have intrigued me in the past. I mean, you gotta have Apple. I mean, Apple always does something new, although NAB is not really their big event. Atomus. Atomus? I never pronounce it right. They come up with, their big thing is they come up with a bunch of recording equipment for video, monitoring on productions, and the infrastructure for that. They were some of the earliest leaders in hard drive recording / monitor combinations. A lot of companies have patterned their version of that off of their original works. Audinate, little side note, I am Dante certified level 3 with them, 1, 2, and 3. And Audinate, their big thing is they work on the Dante infrastructure. And I always pay attention to what they're doing because I'm convinced, and it's already here, but I'm convinced that they're going to figure out a way with Dante to go full on where it apply to me, where video can go over IP in their setup. And I always keep tabs on them because I'm waiting for them to really come up with some integration with a lot of other systems. There's other things out there like Telos and I can't think of the other one off the top of my head that they integrate a lot with like TriCaster, NDI, so on and so forth. Dante hasn't really gotten into that. I'm personally convinced once they can get over that hump, especially on the video side, and if they get a partner in video, that that's going to be, I think, a game changer across the field. B&H, they're a supplier of equipment. I use them a lot to get my gear. Bixel, I chose them because I want to check out what they're doing in my field, doing sports graphics. They are a supplier of a lot of equipment. I've also been to their facility as recently as December. I did expression training there from Ross. It's more like a contact, what I was looking for there for sales. Blackmagic. I'm a heavy user of Blackmagic. I have their converters, I use their switchers, I use their record decks. The title that played before the stream today was played off a Blackmagic Hyperdeck Mini. I love the Blackmagic setup. Bluefish 444, I know nothing about. They were brand new. I heard someone talk about them, and I was like, let's check them out. Chiron. I've been a Chiron operator for years. I mean years. And I always keep tabs on what they're doing, how it affects me when I do sports freelance. Out for the big Chiron users is like Root Sports, Fox used to. Who else is using? Who's still using Chiron these days? That's a good question. Pac-12 Network uses it. Sorry, I had brain fart on that one. Daktronics, they're famous for, if you ever hear about scoreboards at your local high school football stadiums. Daktronics probably built the infrastructure to that. I put them on my list just because I work with them a lot in doing sports freelance. Have to tap into their stuff a lot. I'm doing it with my own business as we develop our sports side, and I always like to keep up with what they're doing because they do a lot of neat stuff when it comes to, especially when it comes to video board support in arenas for sports. EarTech, I use them for my wireless intercom. Put them on there. I want to see if they're coming up with something new. Gator cases. I have quite a few Gator cases. I use them for, right now, they are the backbone for the remote packages I'm building. So I wanted to see if they're coming up with anything new. I first came onto them at NAB, actually, very heavily. I got a bunch of their stuff, and that's what got me heavily interested in what they do. Graphics Outfitters, they are a third-party designer of a lot of high-end graphics equipment, dealing with Chiron, Lyric software, Expression. They can create custom Skeeterbuggins like that. So I wanted to see what they were offering. Grass Valley, just because was just curious. The big thing, a lot of things they do. They're famous for the big broadcast switchers that I see on a lot of trucks. And beyond that, I don't know much about them, unfortunately. NewTek, they're the creators of the TriCaster. And they do a lot of other products. They're the leaders in the NDI movement. So I had to add them. Panasonic, I use Panasonic cameras. The camera I'm talking to you right now on is a Panasonic. It's a 4K camera that I just mounted on my desk. I use them in all my event packages. I love Panasonic. I'm not even going to try that. I can never pronounce it. Rokinon. I add them because they create affordable lenses. Some people like them, some people don't. I'm checking them out as with my 4K production. That's why I use when I'm doing any sort of commercial work or high-end promotional videos and like that. And I want to check out their lenses to see if the price point's good and if they're good quality. ROS Video. I work a lot of shows that have ROS infrastructure on them. I love their equipment. I'm a trained expression user. I've designed a couple packages on ROS expression. Just a great company, and wanted to see what new stuff they've been doing. In this pandemic, I've been taking classes from them just to keep up with things. Sennheiser makes some of the best wireless, especially lav mics out there. I just wanted to see what they're doing new. This company has been intriguing me, ShowFlow. I keep trying to take a webinar from them to find out about their product, and I keep missing it because something comes up. And what they design is, with an event, you can create a rundown. And since I work in the event industry, it would be really great if I had an easy program for creating event rundowns, especially when you're doing a conference and you need to know where point A to point B and where things need to go. That's why I'm curious about them. Sony, you got to check out Sony. Sony always does a lot. Plus, they're the main sponsor, big time sponsor of NAB. Sportscast, they do real-time scoreboard data, different things with that. I don't know that much about them, and that's why I'm hoping to learn. I know of them, and that's about it. Telestream, I actually have Telestream products. I have Wirecast. I consider that to be my third encoder. If I ever have a time where I have 3 productions at the same time or the same day in 3 different locations, then as of right now, Wirecast I use. It's a software. At its core, it's designed that you can do multi-camera on like that. I personally don't. I prefer to have the multi-camera done outside of the software. So I mostly use it as an encoding device. Teradek, I love Teradek. I recently bought, if you follow my posts, I recently bought a real-time encoder and decoder, so that with great internet, I can be able to take someone from, let's say, Portland, Oregon. I can beam them back to the studio in near real time and integrate them into a production. And I say near real time because it's almost impossible to get it at 0% latency. I think I phrased that wrong. We try and get as low latency as possible. So, but that's why I purchased that product. It's going to be on a lot of our productions coming up. Vimeo, thing about Vimeo, they've been around for a long time. They were considered the high-end production tool, not production tool. They're like YouTube, but they were considered where you put up like your most high-end videos because they only allowed like a certain amount at one point. Excuse me, sorry to cough in the mic. They recently purchased Livestream, so it's now Vimeo Livestream. Livestream is another provider of live streaming. And so I added them to the list because I figured they're a company to watch because they have that integration. And VizRT, I've been trying for years to learn the Viz graphics system. And it's kind of, here's a bummer of a story. I was to finally get trained, because they don't offer in-person training on it that often. They were going to do it in Dallas the week that all the shutdowns happened, and they canceled the training. So I missed my opportunity to get trained. But I'm hoping when this is all done that I'll be able to get out there. So before I go over here, hey Ted, how's it going? I see you're on, and that's cool. Maybe I'll pick your brain about show flow there. If you have any comments, I do have the comment window open, so I will respond live here. If you want to just say hi, go ahead and say hi. Like I said, it's taking a break and hanging out. So now let's dive in. Let's go back to the top here. Let's see what Adobe has for us. Well, at first look, Adobe has their contact info. Looks like they have some videos. And some white paper notes dealing with Premiere Pro. And let's check out their news releases here, see what's going on with Adobe. They're doing something called public beta, opportunity to engage directly in the development process for the Adobe video and audio apps. So this is back in March that they're posting this, and I have a feeling that reason why it's only showing up here is because this is originally what they were going to really showcase at NAB in April. So it looks like they're coming out with a new way. Looks like, I'm just glancing at it real quick, beta testing of some of their popular programs like Premiere Pro, After Effects, and Media Coder. That's why I'm gathering from it. I'm not reading through it all, because like I said, I'm just taking a quick glance. I usually don't. That's interesting. All right, let's go Premiere Pro workflow for QB. When did this one come out? This was recent, April 21st. And how to deliver dynamic content for the hottest new viewing platform. Okay. That's something I need to find out, because I have no clue what Q is. For some I've heard QB. So I should learn what QB is. It extends the video experience on mobile devices by dramatically switching between traditional 16:9 screen and vertical. Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna have to dive into that. That could actually be interesting in the broadcast realm too. I don't know if it's effective in broadcast, but that's actually a cool thing to know for editing. Okay. Now, it looks like they've just made some product adaptation. It doesn't really look like they're doing anything like it's a brand new product that they're releasing. So, all right, let's hop back here. Okay, let's go to Aja. Well, they got a lot of product categories and contact info. Well, let's hop to their website here. Let's see if they have anything they're announcing here. Well, this isn't new. Their Hilo has been around for a while. What's new? I got a 12G card, an Open Gear 1x4 12G SDI distribution app, some new software. Oh, this is interesting. IP mini converters. So this is what I was talking about with the Dante. IP video is a big deal, and you really have to keep an eye on this. And this is interesting. The one they're showing here, SDI to IP.
And now that's interesting. I've been actually talking with a few of my colleagues on infrastructure and arenas I work in about, hey, can we tap into this where I don't have to run cable, I can just plug into a port on the wall. And something like this would be great. Question I have, I can see the mini matrix, so they have an app. You can map it all out. That might be something I have to check out a price for later. So that's Aja. And Apple has absolutely nothing. Now that's disappointing. All right. Thanks, Apple. All right. You know, just for that, remove. You're no longer in my favorites. I mean, come on, they had nothing. I'm not going to cut them a break for that. All right, here's a Thomas. They have a big, huge description here of what they do, all their product categories, a couple videos. I think I've seen this video actually. Yep, I've seen that one. What that one, they have a new product that just came out, the Shogun 7, which the theory behind it, actually I can show, here it is here. It's supposed to be a switcher, a touchscreen switcher, as well as a 4-screen monitor. It has all these different things. And they have this big deal where if you purchase one, you can choose one or two special offers they were running. I was actually thinking about it, but the reviews on it, I'm not saying they weren't terrible, but if I'm doing a live event, it didn't give me enough confidence to trust it in that type of setting where it's a one and done. Now, I think this is a great product if you're doing a multi-camera shoot that is going to, that you're going to do some post on. And they talk about that in that video where it produces an XML that you can import into, I believe, just Final Cut if I remember right. It might be Premiere Pro too, you can. And you can actually import all those camera angles, and then you can recreate your edit and adjust your editing. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. So let's check out these news releases for them. Oh, I have to download something. Well, you know what? Let's hop up to their, they don't have a link to their website either. Well, I'm not going to download the releases right now, but it's kind of a bummer you can't just click to their website. I could type it in, but that kind of defeats the purpose of checking it out here. So, and since I have a gallery, what they got here, here's the Ninja 5. I've used the Ninja line before. This one, it's supposed to unlock the, if you have cameras that use RAW through HDMI, it's supposed to be able to record to that, so you can import it using ProRes RAW. There's Panasonic, that's a big thing. And over here, the Sumo 19, it's a 19-inch field monitor, and it also doubles as a record deck. And they have a thing here about the sync. Come on. There we go. Oh, it uses Bluetooth wireless. So it uses RF and Bluetooth wireless and the technology there with the Ninja 5, which we just looked at. I have to check that out a little bit more. That's interesting. My knee jerk is I'm a little concerned when I saw Bluetooth, and it's not that I'm dissing on Bluetooth, but Bluetooth is great for if you're doing a Zoom conference or something like that. I'm just speaking from experience because I actually tried to integrate a Bluetooth wireless audio feed once with some communication, and it didn't work. It cut out a lot. Now it could have been the products I bought, but I wouldn't call it a reliable tool. I'd have to explore that a lot more before I go, oh, this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. That's just me. Like I said, these are my opinions. You guys can have your own on this. I'm just giving my own knee jerk. So, Audinate. And they did nothing. Let's check out their website. At least they gave a website. And since I visited their website just the other day, this website has not changed for NAB. So I'm guessing it would just been a generic booth, nothing too exciting there. For this purpose, I'm going to remove them from my favorites. It's not that I dislike them, it's just there's no point in really keeping them on my list. So, B&H. And if you're working in this field, you know who B&H is. If you're a photographer out there watching, you've seen B&H too. I'm sure you visited there for your photo equipment. And they're a huge supporter of NAB. You have to stop at their booth when you're at the actual convention and pick up the, like they have right here, the new gear and specials catalog. And you can actually buy from them while you're there. What they got for the gallery here. So they have the catalog. Looks like, and it's a great place. You can check out some equipment that you wouldn't normally, if you have a hard time finding a booth, because like the Sony booth is sometimes difficult to get at if they're doing a special event at that time. So here's Sony. They're doing a 6K full frame XD cam. That's kind of cool. They got the Ninja 5. Talk about that ProRes RAW that is mentioned. This interests me. Panasonic, a 4K camcorder with the NDI. Now, this is a bummer I have when because I'm doing Blackmagic. Blackmagic doesn't do NDI. TriCaster does. That's where TriCaster can win. Blackmagic doesn't do anything yet. They've been talking about it, but they haven't. They don't do anything yet that involves IP integration into their switchers. I would love for them to add that, hint, hint, Blackmagic, but they haven't done it yet. So this is a cool technology, and I'd be intrigued to see how that would play out in that environment of NDI. And that looks like it's from, I'm going to guess it's just a staff photo from NAB years past. Yep, that is what their booth looks like. You see that a lot at the real NAB where they stage demos that you can just sit there and check it out in person. They show off the equipment. And that's one of the booths they have there where they show off like a live production setup. You can actually see people in action running it. And the show continues. And that's the link they have. Let's go follow it. Let's see what they got there. NAB Virtual Show. The virtual experience. And I got some videos. What do they got here? So they got 4 videos. Video about Red Camera. And this is today. So check this out. The RE remote production workflow. They're an interesting player lately because it used to be they did cameras, some lights, and now they're seem to be getting more and more accessible be outside of just like Hollywood and super high-end commercial. So I might check that out later. Canon, I've been hearing rumors they have a new, looks like they came out with one, the C300 Mark III. I'm not a Canon fan. I worked in a production house years and years and years ago that used Canons, and I think my work there soured me on them. I don't know. It was back in the SD days. It was Canon GL2s and the XL and the XL2, and I don't know. I think that it just wore me out. And plus, and I followed them through the years. I just haven't been that impressed myself. For me and my purposes, they're more designed for for people who want to be higher end commercial. I have a buddy who has a C300. He does weddings. You know, it's right in that realm. For me, I'm a live guy. Not really my thing. Make great lenses, but not my thing. And I have another thing with Canon here. Advancements in imaging technology. And this, oh wow, looks like they have a whole collection of stuff here from NAB. Looks like Nikon's got a vlogger kit. Hollyland Cosmo M7. Let's check that out here. That's what I figured. Hollyland has come up in the past. I've seen them a lot in the past year. Just come up in my searches for things. What they're doing with wireless technology and monitoring. They're an intriguing player, and they're affordable. They're very affordable. Let's just see here. I mean, you see this, it's $3,000, but you're looking at wireless. Yeah, it's a 7-inch monitor, but it's full HD. I don't know, 600 feet away, you can monitor something. I think they're going to sell quite a bit with, I mean, I'm not going to go out and spend for it right now, but I'm going to keep my eye on them. Alright, I guess I could just look there if I scrolled more. Anyway, focused LED lights. I have no clue what that is, so got me to click it. 4-channel receiver. Oh, that could be interesting for wireless audio collection. Dante ports. There's Dante. Oh, I'll have to explore that a little bit more. I don't know if that would be useful to me in my setup. Like what's... they're not going to tell me, huh? Well, what's the price point? So the plug... So... there's a term for that, but the plug they put on the base of your microphone, I won't say it here. I want to keep it family friendly. That's $1,600. The receiver's $5,000. I'll have to explore that. I mean, to do photos, you're looking at dropping what, 11 grand? Could be interesting, but not what I'm looking for. Drone. I don't know why. I'm just being personal. I have no drive to do a drone. No drive. I mean, I've thought about it, but I just have no drive to go get the licensing, buy one. I don't know. I just don't have the need to, I guess. Although I see it come up a lot, and I'll probably give in within the year, I'm sure. Some more lights from Aperture. Multi-effects guitar processor. Doesn't interest me. A new mirrorless camera by Canon. Update details. Well, what's this about? Panasonic. I mean, it doesn't pertain to me, but I'm just seeing what they got here. Maybe it does pertain to me. I don't know. Oh, it's the update so that it can work with the new Ninja 5, where you can get that high-end. You get up to 6K at 30 frames or to 4K at 60. That's becoming more and more important these days. Not so much in live streaming. 4K live streaming is sort of here. A lot of the stuff I work with, it's not here yet, but it's getting there. Canon new Mark III and the new, oh, they got a new 25 to 250 millimeter zoom lens. Oh, that's kind of interesting. What's this by Rode? That looks kind of funky. Rode, if you don't know, they do a lot of, they work in the audio and for video production. This is from a month ago. It looks like wireless. It's a compact digital wireless microphone system. And it's a 2-person kit. Huh, that's interesting. What's the price point? Always comes down to the price point. That's affordable. $200, it's in stock. And 4 out of 5. Curious about the all. Let's hop to reviews. When were these being reviewed? Are these all pretty recent? Yeah, it looks like it. Let's sort by oldest. What's the oldest review? Oh, April last year. I'll have to check out what the big deal is, why it's being announced now. I'm not going to waste our time on that too much. And the Blackmagic A10 Mini Pro switcher. I'm thinking again one of these to put into and make a full production system out of it. It intrigues me because while in this pandemic, I'm developing tiers of systems. So there's going to be a lighter budget, some lighter budget systems, a mid-range system. When it's all said and done, this part, it'll probably take longer than the pandemic gets set. It's going to be a light budget, a mid-range, and then the high-end system. And I'm thinking about this for the lower range. It's got a lot of power. It's only $600. I see that, Ted. I'm glad I introduced that to you. That Rode might be interesting. I have to check it out more because I need to see why. Not to back away from the A10, but I have to see why that's a big deal for a NAB release. I have to check that out. But coming back to the Mini Pro, it has a lot of power. It also has a lot of limitations. And you have to be aware of that in using it. That's why I say it would be a lower end package, because lower end stuff they don't require the power that some of the higher end products do. But what's cool about the Mini Pro, just to talk about for a second, you can record directly to a hard drive from it. It inputs 4 cameras, so you can do like a light 2, 3, 4 camera shoot. And it also can stream directly from it, where you can pre-program your most popular streaming destinations like YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitch. You can go, you have to do some coding, but you can send it to individual RTMPs, so on and so forth. It's a powerful little guy. That's it. That's it right there. Whereas like I'm building right now a 4-unit rack that uses both sides, that has some power to it. That guy, it basically takes my rack and shortens it. But like I said, it's got limitations. The original Mini, like the video out, people are they're suggesting you use that for multi-view and not for program, because otherwise you don't have a multi-view out. It's those limitations you have to work with. All right, well, that pretty much wraps it up with the B&H side. They had, I mean, check this out, virtual business cards. So like you can get these people's contact infos, and oh, they got some more stuff here. And you can contact them directly. What else they got here? So there's that 6K camera. Podcasting microphone. I might be in shopping for that, because like today I have a lav mic, and I wouldn't mind just having a mic right here I could just talk into here in the studio when I do these. An LED light, mobile workstation. I'm not really sure why this is revolutionary, but hey, to each their own. Alright, so that's B&H. Now B&H has got the studio. Let's check that out here. So in here, I think this has to do with like showcasing their studio setup. So like the products they're talking about here, they got a monitor, Canon C300 MK3, and an RE light. It's mostly if you're building TV studios, sound stages, like that. They're a fun booth to visit as well. Not sure what that is. Robo camera. A lot of studios are using those now. Yeah, not too much there. Sends you back to the same site. So that's the studio page. Let's check out Bixel. What do they got going here? Talking about their sales. Just describing them a little bit. Let's go to their website. What they got here. They're closed to the public, but we're here for you. Not really a whole lot. So their site must be just to connect you to them. Yeah. Not really worth talking about that much. I'm not going to save them. There we go. Black Magic. What do we got going here? Not too much. We got some gallery. A10 Mini, that's been around for a little bit. That's not really a new announcement. They announced that a few months ago. And that's been around for a little while. You know, this is the stuff they were announcing at the last year's NAB. So it's disappointing. I'm not going to delete them, just because if you stay on if you keep them in your favorites, they contact you with special offers and like that. So I'm just gonna keep them in there. It's kind of disappointing though, they didn't do anything. So let's go to Bluefish. Known as Professionals, like I said, I know nothing about them. Professional's choice for over 20 years as manufacturer of professional video industry's highest quality video I/O interface cards. Oh, I should know about them, but I really don't. Probably because I don't have the money to actually check out everything they do. Multi-channel capture software. That's kind of cool. Why do you choose Bluefish? Okay. So I got a server here. 3 rack unit server. Capture 4 independent streams of video. That. I have to check that out. And they got their little I/O cards. That's interesting. Some more cards. Another card. Oh, I have to do a private look at them. I'm going to back out of that because I have to dive deep into that to understand everything they're doing. So we're going to move on to Chiron now. Let's see. Description and nothing else. I got some news releases here. Chiron Academy. What's that? Let's back out here. I want to do that on a new tab. That was April 14th. I never heard of this. Zero cost pathways certification. That might be worth looking out. Chiron, like I said, a lot of high-end television companies use them. I've designed Chiron packages before. I have 2 annual clients. I actually do that for SWX in Montana. I take the SWX graphics look and I put it on Chiron for him. And then also in Montana, I'm not doing it this year because they don't have the Shriners game, but MTN Network, they're a network of TV stations over there. They put on the Shriners game, and their in-house graphics people design the graphics, and I convert it over so it can be run on Chiron because the remote truck uses Chiron, but their in-house studio doesn't. So they hire me to do all that. So, some interesting stuff there. Nothing too exciting. Daktronics, what do you got for us? Daktronics improved show control product line is ready for live, but there's nothing to click. So what do we got here? Got some videos. Let's take a look. I got a link here. Oh, I've used this before actually, the show control product line. Who used that? Beasley Coliseum. And it's what they use to, so if you ever go into like Spokane Arena, Beasley Coliseum, here in Wenatchee Town Toyota Center, they, you have ribbons, you have big jumbotrons, and they use technology like this. Ted, you can tell me if I'm wrong, if they use the Daktronics up there to control all that. But it's set up so that you can just click through when you want to change your ribbon, or you can automate it and like that. Ready for live. I thought it was live already. I have to read through that, but anyway, that's what that's about. Okay. Ear Tech. And oh, they actually have a sales pro. You can get his ultralight. that's what I use. I used the ultralight headset. So let's open that up and see. Oh, you have to download it. I don't want it right now. So let's maybe go to the website. Maybe they put up something for NAB. I can tell you this, the past few months, EarTech has done wonders to their website. It used to be their website was garbage is not a great term I should use. I didn't like it. It was very hard to navigate. This one's much easier. So I use this setup, the ultralight, nice little wireless headsets. But it doesn't look like there's anything too new here to really explore. So we'll exit out of that. Gator cases. Okay. And looks like I got a new tote bag. They don't have a website, so let's click through this. Looks like they got for camera equipment. Huh. I don't know when they got into the Gator frameworks. That's kind of newish when they got into the mic business, but apparently they're into that now. And then you can get a protective case for an iMac. That's kind of cool. So if like you ever take your iMac computers from place to place, that's kind of neat. All right, well that's Gator for you. Let's go to Graphics Outfitters. And normally, just to interrupt here, because I know as we're coming up to 8 o'clock here, normally our shows are going to be within the hour range. It looks like this one's going to run a little bit over. So if you can stay with us, that's great. I don't anticipate going too much over. So, Graphics Outfitters, they don't have much here. I kind of figured they wouldn't, because they're a company that, like I said, when I first introduced them, they build a lot of customizable systems. I've used a lot of their stuff, like they have their own replay, sports graphics like that. You can go to them, like I said, Chiron, you can get Chirons from them. And it's at a fraction of the price if you bought directly from Chiron. But I'm going to tell you this from just user experience. You're buying third party, you better be prepared to do the maintenance on it, because Chiron's not going to help you, Ross isn't going to help you. So you got to be aware of that. They have in the past, they built the ESPN score bug, they've built the Fox Sports score bug. They must be the current builders for Stadium as well. So that's Graphics Outfitters. Yeah. All right. Nothing too NAB exciting there. Let's check out Grass Valley. Yeah, like I said, I want to learn more about Grass Valley. Let's just read the headlines here. It looks like they're doing stuff with IP, live production. Some 4K. There, that's right. I forgot they build cameras. Shame on me. I should have known that. Remember that. What they got here? It's like some videos. A lot of videos. Orbit. Huh. Looks like an IP system that you can control the traffic. Looks like what they focused on, they got a new replay. I'm curious if that's going to be at all live, ready for prime time. See if we'll see it on any trucks in the future. Of course, their cameras. I don't know much about their cameras. I know they make them, but I don't know much about them. I know places that have used them. Yeah, I really have to do a deep dive on them and get caught up on what all they do. So that's Grass Valley. New Tech. What do we got with New Tech? They got a mini 4K. That's kind of big, because I know the mini has been used in a lot of schools, colleges as well, for their starting production stuff. And a 4K, that's because, I mean, you can get a 4K camera for about $1,000 now. I mean, it's not top quality, but if you're teaching people broadcasting or you're just getting started and you want to do something live, only thing I just wonder is what the price point is. That's all I wonder. And they got a new I/O for their NDI of 4K. Looks like they're hammering 4K pretty good. Let's actually check out this mini 4K. Your bright story, your story bright, your story big. There's branding for you. Your story better, your story bold, your story told. Huh, it rhymed. Huh. Join us for our live interactive show. Okay. You can also put an iPhone in it. That's interesting. Huh. That could tie into those Panasonic NDIs for 4K. Huh. I saw your comment, Ted, about the replay systems. I'm kind of with you on that. I think we're going to see that coming post-pandemic. Cause I think we talked about it, and we had union meetings earlier today, and I really think that way we see broadcast production is going to change in the future. I think it's going to get smaller. I think the crews are going to get smaller. They're going to get cheaper. And so I think the person who's the most diverse in what all they use is going to be the most hireable. That's just my opinion on that. Looks pretty straightforward what they got here. They got Skype integration. That's cool. I have to do a deep dive into that, but I could see that being a changer. The only thing I wonder is, let's go to their online store. I want to know how much it costs. And their, let's see, products. There it is, made 4K. Is it at the bottom here? I'll check that out some other time. That's a very intriguing product. New Tech's putting the pressure on. I can definitely tell you that. They keep the pressure on in our industry. Oh, they have an NDI PTZ camera that does 4K. That's cool. Then the Spark Plus, which is NDI I/O. Cool. Nice. Let's see what my friends Panasonic's got for us here. I went to the future of video production today. That was interesting. So it looks like their NAB at the base is basically what the webinar presents. So that webinar is basically their NAB showcase. And what I can tell you from that webinar, their new cameras are intriguing. They got this new platform, the Kairos. I think I'm saying that right. The Kairos, it is, I need to do that's my phrase, say deep dive. I need to do a deep dive into that and see what all that is. It watching it once, I didn't get it didn't sink all the way in. So, like I said, I have to do a deep dive on that and see what it is. But it sounds like they're forming this whole new alliance. So we got NDI, we got Telos, which supposedly Black Magic is part of. Now we got this Karos, and yeah, it's hard to keep up with it all. So that's Panasonic. Rokinon. I'm sure I'm butchering that. You can hammer me on it. So they got some description. Got a website. Let's check out their gallery here. So you can enter. Oh, that's from 2019. And that's a picture from 2017. Looks like they just carried over 2019. Is what it looks like here. Not really seeing anything too spectacular or interesting there. So let's just visit their website real quick. See if that's what they're driving people to. Looks like just in general, just some new things, building upon their current line of lenses. Nothing too amazing or spectacular there. So, okay, let's back out of here. Ross. Like I said, I love Ross. I love the integration they do. They got some really cool technology going. Looks like they got the virtual business cards going on. They're doing some events there, some tech talks, introduction to Sarah. Here's their products. Expression version 10. Oh, that's big. The latest version of that I used is 9. So I'm going to have to check that out, see if I can. So I have a dongle for 9.5. I need to check, see if I can get it upgraded to version 10. Interesting. I heard about this. I have a buddy that did a little show where he interviewed someone about the Carbonite Ultra. It's supposed to be a small form factor switcher that Ross is coming up with. Yeah, it's intriguing. I've talked with him a little bit about it. It's basically the Carbonite Mini. That's just freaking cool. They're getting into robotics. Dolly shots there. And a tie line control manager. Interesting. Huh. Have to check that out. What they got over here. High quality, low latency remote production. Yeah. We're all looking for low latency, I can tell you that. Robotics. They're getting more and more in the robotics game, which I think is scary considering how they've taken over the production truck game. There's the Carbonite Ultra, Expression 10, the dashboard, modernize your user experience. I've messed around with that a little bit. And I know nothing about this company, but it's supposed to impact expression, so I have to check that out. Okay. And then they updated all tricks. Cool. Nice little booth there, Ross. And here's Sennheiser. What's Sennheiser got going here? Audio. Got the business cards. Got some online webinars they're advertising. They got only $79 for a new around-the-ear headphone. Most significantly closed, to be introduced in years. That's big, and that only $79. That's a great price point. Sennheiser for as long as I've known them, have been some of the best that you want to buy for the over-ear headphones. Yeah, I might have to check that out. And then the memory mic. That's fine. App. Looks like an app. It's more expensive than the headphones. Huh. That could be fun to play with. Especially with a lot of people using their smartphone. Cool. Alright. Back in here. I'm guessing these are a bunch of videos. Video. Oh, the Evolution Wireless G4. It's been around for a while. Looks like they kind of retrofitted it a little bit though. Huh. Alright. So there's Sennheiser. ShowFlow. Nothing. So Ted, I will be hitting you up at some point to talk to you about ShowFlow. Good if I have their website. I'm not even going to keep them on here. Alright, Sony. Sony. Few virtual business cards. They got some new production monitors. And a camera extension for live production. The thing of Sony is a lot of their stuff. I was kind of curious what they were going to do with their with this. A lot of their stuff is the show. Like they do something at NAB every couple hours on their booth, and it looks like they're just guiding you to their website, which is perfectly fine. I'm not a big Sony user, so I don't need to check them out that much. Sportscast. Like I said, they do data integration. And nothing too exciting here. Okay. That's something I'll just have to privately explore. Telestream. Now Telestream at NAB, they have a big booth that they do, and doesn't look like they have a lot here. Let's see what they got over here. So video, a light speed, live event, linear live streaming, multi-channel video capture. That seems to be a big theme this year. Invest a lot of money in video service, investment paying off. That's the question we ask ourselves all the time. Well, I have to check that out maybe. OptiQ. Huh. I'd be intrigued if they did quality service. They haven't before. Maybe if there are other products, Wirecast, they don't seem to. Just once it leaves Wirecast, they do an update to Wirecast? Looks like they might have. Huh. I've checked that out. I quit subscribing to them when the pandemic started, and then I got my funding that's helping keep me up going for... I'll be stable here until October, and like I said, I'm starting to get some business going, but I cut off my yearly subscription to them when the pandemic started, so I might have to re-up it. Teradek. I love their products. Unfortunately, they don't seem to be doing much here at NAB other than list themselves as a vendor. And it's the same website. that they've had for a while. So I'll keep them on just because. Vimeo. Let's see what Vimeo's got for NAB here. So that's the big thing about Vimeo is they're ad free. You have to subscribe to them if you really want to use it. You can customize players with them. Looks like they're doing stock footage. You can review stuff. And this is, that's from last year, so they really haven't done all that much. Let's see if they have something special for NAB this year. Bringing people together with video. Your video starts here. It doesn't look like it. Looks like just their generic website. Well, since I really don't use them that much, I'm not going to keep them on. It's one of my favorites. A little disappointing. I was hoping for a little more. Last but not least is VizRT. And what do we got here? Got their website. They got video. I've been getting those emails about Vizor TV. When I visited their booth 2 years ago, it was impressive. What they were doing with live 3D graphics was really cool. And that integration to virtual sets, it was cool. It was cool to see in person. Looks like they just have videos here. Viz Engine, I use that when I work ESPN games with the Skeeterbuggins, and hopefully soon their Viz Trio graphics. There's the AR show. You can see here. These are all virtual, except for this guy. These are all virtual. ESPN, I believe, uses them quite a bit, the virtual stuff. So does, I want to say, Fox does as well. You can take camera feeds and do some virtual analysis. It's kind of cool. I mean, their stuff is powerful. It's really powerful. All right. Well, we'll hop on back here. So that was checking out my favorite exhibitors at NAB. We went a little long tonight, but I'm glad for those of you who hopped on for at any point of this. They came along for the journey, and I hope and look. I'm losing my train of thought. I'm tired. I've been talking a lot. I hope to see all of you again next week. As like I said, next week I'm going to show behind the scenes of a production I would have done earlier that day with, like I said, a local group, Quada. These videos are going to be staying online here at on Facebook as well as YouTube, so they'll be archived. And I'd just like to say that I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope to see you again next time. Thank you. Oop. My bad there.